Ah, yes. A human. Normally, the thought of even conversing with you would be filthy and completely out of my norm. But you're different, aren't you? A demon slayer, perhaps? Then I'm sure you know who I am. At least vaguely. Maybe your instincts. Maybe not. I suppose it depends on your talent. What you feel right now. That chill running up your spine. That feeling. The overwhelming difference between us. Well, I'm sure I don't need to introduce myself, do I? You should just relax. The more you look suspicious, the more I'm prone to kill you, right here and now in a very painful way. Believe it or not, I'm not here to kill you. Does it cause you some distress to know that I'm not here to kill you? What a strange human, and an even stranger demon slayer. Perhaps there's more to you. Ambition. I can taste it. Every ounce of what you've shown me. It's different, isn't it? Even though I've only met you a moment ago, I can see that ambition, that pride. As if this moment, right now, you view it as not even a drop in the ocean. There's something more. You fully intend to get out of this alive and unscathed. And for that, I appreciate your pride. I, too, am proud of myself. The only difference is the scope and scale between us. Compared to me, you might as well be a small, innocent creature. You haven't lived as long as me. You've not nearly experienced even a fraction of what I have, let alone the difference between us, the power. Power's something only I have. Everything else is a disappointment. Your pride seems almost as intoxicating as mine. But why? How did you ever get so confident when you're so weak? Maybe not for a human, but to me, you might as well be as easy to break as this doll here. Everything about you able to be crushed like that. Don't look so nervous. You've already done better than most humans to keep your cool. And God knows you make the demon slayers actually look like there's something at all. I've met only 1 or 2 humans that have ever managed to pique my interest. And they ended up as something useful to me. Perhaps you too have aspirations. Dreams of something more. Power that comes only at the sacrifice of the weak and frail. Power that I can offer. You look almost offended by that. Did I say something that got on your nerves, or is it just your pride? Now is your only chance. The one time in our chance meeting that I'll let you walk away. You can even tell your friends back at whatever place you call home exactly who and where I am, if you even know that. But just in case I'm misunderstanding something, you have a choice. I wonder what happens if you choose to stay. Will you die or live? Will I break you like that doll? Or will I do something more? Just know you've been warned, and this is your only warning. You know, it's a courtesy allotted to the strong of heart, the prideful, and even those who have no true value. Sometimes fate is as fickle as I am. A feeling of superiority. Yes, I see it. I feel it with you. You're something at least worth a second glance. Your lack of self-preservation, or perhaps curiosity, is almost as bad as my own. How trivial. This meeting is pointless, and I don't like things that are pointless. So how do we change that? Again, I've warned you, and yet still you remain. Like the moth that flew too close to the sun. Drawn to your greater instincts, or perhaps ambitions, on the tip of your tongue. Or maybe it's something more personal than that. Maybe you intend to use me to get stronger. And to that end, I encourage it. You certainly can try. In fact, the more you try, perhaps the closer you'll get. If I die, if I lose, then it is my own fault. A prideful being. That is the only end we know. An end where our confidence, our viciousness, the carnal thing we call the most precious, love, you could say, that is what draws us to things. I've studied love for so long. I'm sure even you understand it. It's such a fascinating concept, but something almost exclusively among humans. Why is that? I've been trying to understand for so long. Why? Why? Why is it an exclusive trait of humans? Sure, I've never felt compelled towards it. Less so when I'm doing something I quite love. My reputation, the fear they hold for me, that is as close to what I love as you humans have ever understood. But you almost look at me as if you want to change that, to break through what is unbroken, to make me feel something more. That's why you almost offer your soul and well-being, your life, right here and now. And yet why? Why? To a perfect stranger who you know might be your ultimate enemy, the enemy of your sect, the enemy of your people, the enemy of your nature. You rebel against all those things so elegantly. I applaud it, if only because that curiosity reminds me of myself before I was like this. I was weak, frail, and then I wasn't. Confusion draining into a certain kind of romance about it. There is only so much we can fear before we become that fear. Your smile betrays you. If you weren't so obvious, perhaps I might. No, never mind. You don't need to know what I was thinking. Know your place. Curiosity is not a right beyond filth. You are still a human, after all. If you wish to be more than that, you must earn it further than this. Surely you know what to offer me, what to partake of, something that will make you useful to me. That's what you want, isn't it? But no, that's the interesting part. You think yourself my equal, a pride that makes me intoxicated. How curious that a human would dare. That's what makes me want to kill you. That's what makes me want to break you. That's what makes me want to toss you aside. To give you what you wish for. Either an end or a beginning. Which is it? You are such a pointless contradiction. So much so, it makes me angry, concerned, that if you had your wish and way about you, we would be kindred spirits, and yet the worst of enemies. But in your eyes, something more akin to lovers in a death thrall, biting each other by the throat until there's nothing left. You know, I've never talked to someone this long, but lately it's felt so empty, with no one and nothing to truly get in my way. The Hashira, mere afterthoughts, embarrassments for the lower moons, but that's been solved now. Now, this is different, isn't it? Your scent betrays that you're more than them. Even as a human, something I thought I would never say. How ironic that your pride would be what saves your life, if you can call it saving, to become one of my kin. Is that your choice? You don't care that you'd be giving your soul away, hunted by your former friends, giving your life away. For what? Your pathetic justice. You think you'd retain your heart as a mere demon. Your pride has gotten the best of you. But if you wish to delve and fall, I will not hinder you. If your pride really is so much that you can retain such innocence afterwards, you would be truly different, wouldn't you? How interesting. A bet with your soul on the line. You don't mind if you end up repeating this, do you? You're willing to risk everything for nothing at all. A complete stranger and one with sins unheard of to what you've ever known or met. You're truly insane. Coming from me, that's either the greatest compliment or the worst insult you could ever know. And you remain unkempt, unbothered, completely lacking anything resembling what I'd expect from a human in your state. Most of those who became my kin did so for selfish means. In fact, all of them, every demon that has ever been, except for one. One single soul. One vexing contradiction. And yet, you I don't find so vexing at all. In fact, I'm curious to see how much you can resist your own nature. Well then, shall we see how far you're willing to fall? Or perhaps you're correct, and your pride, even after you become a demon, would be intact. Would you still be able to avoid harming them? Would you still care? Very well. Such a trivial thing. It is done. But for what? To what end will you continue? You're convulsing. It looks rather painful, is it? Giving away your humanity just for me. What you intend makes no sense at all. But I'm sure you can gradually see that as your humanity fades. You can't save what you cannot understand. And I'm sure you can't understand it, can you? None of this makes sense. Not the feelings of pain, the new sensations of your body, nor anything else, does it? Good. Lose yourself then. No, it's different. I'll give it to you. You're already different than most of them. You didn't immediately go on a rampage, so I'll give you credit. But you're drooling looking at them. What's stopping you? Is your nature not more important than your morals? Interesting. How long can you remain like that? Curious. Perhaps I underestimated you completely. Perhaps there's more to you. A human pride on my level. I've yet to believe it, but you make an interesting case. Maybe I'll kill them all to cut them into pieces. Make it easier for you to make that choice. What then? Will you still resist? Was a veritable buffet presented before you, no pesky life left in their bodies. What would the Hashira think now? Would they think something else? Admirable, but pointless? Or would they kill you on the spot? A powerful demon, born of a demon hunter. How cruel a fate. You're not the first to join my kin, and you will not likely be the last. I have my eyes set on a few, but you may have ripped them apart. The ideals that I had, the hesitation, straining the tip of my tongue. Now, on to more important things. If you are going to prove to me that human emotions are so strong, how do you intend to do it? What purpose has any of this held? You still haven't made it clear. You've just managed to resist the most base of instincts, which I'll give it is quite impressive considering how much of my blood you partook in. But even then, you're not free yet. You are still one of my kin. If I intended to, I could make you feel and do incredible things against even your own moral justice. And yet you trust me not to. You think there's humanity left in me? What a perplexing soul. I can't tell if you're stupid or even more intelligent than me. Impossible. But even then, I'll give you a chance to prove yourself. Come with me. We go to where I call home. Not my human disguises, not a hideaway, but a world, a myriad of pointlessness. Yet it's something that matters, if only for one purpose and one purpose alone. One that you won't know until I see fit to tell you. Here. It was as effortless to get here, but not so effortless to escape. No humans for you to dine on. Does it drive you wild? Your new instincts, your new nature dawning upon you. It's not as easy as you thought. Biting your tongue, biding your time. Fess up. Why is it you try so hard? You're not like them anymore. You're a completely different entity, and yet you've proven me wrong. A feat no one ever has yet. How interesting. I don't know whether to torment you with temptation, to be the devil you think I am, or the angel you think is sleeping inside. Which of me interests you more to see first? Perhaps I'll show you both sides, and I'll give you a chance. Well, if you seek to be so much more than them, to contain your very indignance, your nature, beyond what it should ever be able to be contained, you know you'll die like this, right? Or was that your intention from the start, to prove your point and fade away? Strange. I see no signs of you starving. What would normally be necessary to complete your transition, you would need to devour them. A human, a meal for you, yet you have resisted. It makes me think you're different. Your morals, your restraint, on a level beyond mere human capabilities. Tell me, are you something divine? An angel fallen just for me. Is that what I've been graced with? How strange. And yet, I see it. There's signs of something that just can't be human on you. Now that you're a demon, after all. But your benevolence is concerning. Almost impossible. To think you would prove the impossible before me. Perhaps you're the only one who's ever been worth my time since I've turned to this miserable but wonderful existence. You may be worth understanding this feeling. What better than a companion to understand with something that I've been researching? To understand love not from the frail human standpoint, but from the standpoint of someone who has retained their humanity. There never was one. Only shreds and dregs, only able to maintain just a shred of what they used to be, drooling over their inhibitions. Yet you seem to have owned it, able even to smile at the king of demons, the one who made you what you are, who cursed you, and yet you smile so innocently. Is it wrong I wish to twist that smile? To torment you, but also to protect? What a strange mixture of feelings. Could this be love, not just infatuation? What do you think? Am I wrong? Or am I perfectly right? Which shall it be? Yes. I suppose that's the only way to find out, is for us to experiment. I'm going to emulate what I know of these humans, and you're going to reciprocate it. I can already tell without even commanding you. There's a certain care in your eyes. It reminds me of a different time, before everything became this convoluted, before the expectations, the pride, when I was useless, empty, frustrated, when I used every last lifeline and chance, fate. No. Manifest something else. No words could describe what it is. As no words can properly describe you, or why you're like this, why you're so stubborn, lost in your ways, so innocent, almost frustratingly delicate. Something of a flower in my hands. I could crumple you up, ruin you, or I could cherish you. For now, you should rejoice. I'm going to use you for an experiment. And if by chance you're correct about me, you might just win this bet. Flirting with the devil, not knowing how much sin I've created, may be your downfall. Not knowing how everything falls into the palm of my hand may be your only salvation. Now, do not move. If you will not devour, then I will devour you. Your look isn't that of resignation. It doesn't hold that pathetic side that all, even the highest ranked demons do. All except for me. You hold something different. And to that end, I will give you endless credit. Elation, I'm proud of you. In some way. Our connection, built not on necessity and greed, but half so. Your innocence, able to withstand so much. Your love, compassion, I can feel it in a way that makes me confused, frustrated even. But I'll just take that frustration out on you. And if you still forgive me, perhaps then you will have won. Now, pardon, but love carries a certain risk to it. What happens if demons fall in love? Not just mere demons, though. Demons of the highest pedigree, the very epitome of what lives in the darkness of what humans fear. Yet you don't fear me, even in the slightest. I can sense that, you know. I wonder if you'll still not, after I've made my stance on this experiment. Am I an unfeeling monster? Or as you say, am I something more than my sins, able to even know? One last time. A chance at humanity. You make it seem not so pathetic. Impressive for a mere former human. Though I guess I, too, have such unfathomable, pathetic roots, isn't that true? Then prove me wrong, if you dare. I will partake upon your flesh delicately, or maybe voraciously. It depends. Which excites you more? Which is your ultimatum for how to proceed? You should know that barely counts as an answer. I almost didn't accept it and lobbed off your head. But I decided you have far too much heart to end in such a pathetic way. That heart is what's carrying you. Let's see if you can keep it with my love, if you wish to call it that. Come here, and don't move. You have only my permission to feel, nothing else. And feel you shall, the way your body reacts to me. So carnal, and filled with a mixture of lust and love, care, compassion. You really do stand by what you believe, and to that end, I endlessly respect you more than the hypocrites and empty fools of your kind, your former kind. But the body of a demon is far more dangerous than you might know. Pleasures and pain, unrealistic for a human body to ever know. Especially when you stand at the pinnacle, the apex of what my kin are capable of. Your resistance showing enough already. You haven't fallen to this indulgence yet. Can you remain so lacking and pathetic, so dignified? I almost see you as an equal, unfathomable. And yet that's how I feel. Who would know? With such a sloppy mess, looking so hot and bothered, that I would find you to be the first to equate to me. A heart as strong as iron, and yet as soft as a feather. How relaxed you are makes me feel conflicted, as though I'm not sure how to proceed. And yet, I will proceed, out of respect for your challenge, out of respect for you, and what you seem to desire. You wish to feel, and you wish for me to feel. So I will. I will show you a side that no one will ever see of me ever again. Perhaps I will show you that, but only if you've lasted that long, if you manage to retain such sanity, even after those are all broken and battered. The rest of our kin, nothing more than unfathomable weaklings parading about as if they're strong. That's what you feel like. An affront to that normal, that I must know why. You're different, and I appreciate that difference. But how will you show me something new? If you stay like this, can you really retain yourself? You do look more like a beast right now, even though a kind one, as ironic as that sounds. Just relax then, if you're capable of it. Your smile. Are you sure I deserve it? Do you know how much I've done? You do, don't you? They've told you, and yet you still accept me. How frightful. I've never felt fear, but with you, I feel something akin to a reverence. I was unsure if I was capable of even feeling this. And yet, here I am, eating my words and my pride to something far more kind than words could ever. The fact you've willfully subjected yourself to all this almost brings a tear to my eye and regret to my heart. Almost. You're different. And if I can have my way, and you continue to allow this, I wonder, will you become more like me? Or will I gradually become, as you say, feeling and aware? Will I spare the humans, as you seem to think I will? Your willing sacrifice doesn't seem so bad, so empty, and anything but pathetic. You are truly someone worth my time. The vulnerabilities, impossible. Me feeling it is unheard of. The fact that you've made me feel anything at all. Vulnerabilities, emptiness is all I'm supposed to feel. How did you... It's so much more than mere pleasure that escapes my body. Mere satiation. It is a symbol that somehow and in some manner you've half defeated me. But I will not be so easy as we progress. Do not regret your choices. I know how much you bear. I almost feel guilt in turning you. In trial, this has been something of a lesson. I have had to swallow my pride. Someone worth so much. How did you even manage? I'm impressed. Let's see if you can retain that feeling and continue it going forward. You are mine now. Shall we reaffirm that?